Hello. Welcome to the Creators Lounge podcast. My goal is to create a short-term podcast that examines a specific field, such as music production or fashion. My hope is that you will hear something of value and apply that to your own life or your own art form, whatever it may be. This season we are examining music production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Alright guys, hello. Your host Ben Jaye. I am joined by a very special guest today. His name is Generator. I like to call him Jen. Jen, tell us about yourself, my man.
So I'm a 13-year-old producer from the United States, more specifically Washington, D.C. And I mean, honestly, I got into music mostly because of, first of all, I learned the physics of it, and then I got interested into that. But then I felt like, I listened to a bunch of other artists that I'll explain more in this podcast. I listened to a bunch of artists, and I just thought maybe I should make my own style.
Freaking incredible. And that's exactly what he does. Like, this guy, he's done everything from trap to future bass to tropical house. Every new song has like a new genre, basically. Alright, so how long have you been doing music for, my man?
8 months only. Not even a year.
But how much music have you created in that amount of time?
I mean, I have a lot of secret tracks, honestly, I'll be honest. And just for you guys that are listening to the podcast, I've actually made a Christmas song like 4 months ago.
Woo!
I don't know why I decided to make a Christmas song, and I'm gonna release it on Christmas.
My dude, that's what's up.
It's a remix of Jingle Bells.
That's what's up, my man. I am looking forward to that. And do we get any vocals on it? You gonna sing on it or not?
Nope, I can't sing for anything, bro. What do you expect me to sing on a track?
Do you ever think that you're gonna mix vocals into your music? Whether it's yours or someone else's, do you think you'll do that eventually?
Definitely. I mean, you have to, because I mean, you can't be stuck making one genre, and I've always wanted to have vocals on my tracks.
That's incredible, and I hope you're able to at some point. I know for me, I used to hate it whenever I had like EDM songs that had vocals. Not my music, but like other music.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it for a long time. And then later I saw artists who did it well, like Avicii did it really well, and some other guys. And so I was like, okay, not so bad. Maybe I'll do it myself. But I think it's all about finding the right vocalist and the right lyrics for the song. I think that's the difficult part. All right, so your biggest inspirations for music production. Let's hear some artists, my man.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys the biggest inspirations from the lowest. Well, number one, Marshmello, because oh my god, dude, Marshmello, I praise Marshmello every day. I eat marshmallows every single day.
And why? And like, why has he made such an impact on you?
First of all, he's just generally a great person. He spreads a really good message, and I don't see why so many people dislike him. You can dislike his music, but you can't dislike him as in his personality at all. Of course, with the .com situation and all. I mean, I can't even deny that. So, I mean, I'm definitely accepting that he used to be someone else, but I mean, he's still Marshmello in my eyes. I'm not gonna let that distract me in any way. Because like Marshmello, he's a much better person now.
What Generator just referenced just now is that Marshmello used to do music under the name .com, and eventually he rebranded himself and then came back as Marshmello as we know him now. So tell me a little bit about that, Jen. How do you feel about it whenever artists recreate their image or recreate their brand? What do you think about that?
Good on them. Because, I mean, honestly, if you're making music and your music isn't doing well, you got to do something about it. You can't blame an artist for doing that. You have to move on to other things. You've got to try other things that might make you feel good, and maybe something that you'll find really fun producing. And once you make that genre or whatever music, then if I ever make a song that goes really viral, I'll be able to do the older genres that I used to do and stuff like that. And then maybe my fans will really like that as well.
100%. And I want to say that I feel like sometimes we have to do stuff that we don't like at first to find what we actually do enjoy.
Exactly.
I'll give an example. I used to make music that was very short. All my songs were anywhere from 1 minute to 2 minutes.
Same.
I didn't like long songs. Someone eventually told me, hey man, you have to make a song that's 3 minutes. I did it, and then I was kind of like, wow, there's so much room for like song development, and I can do so much more with it. And it's not until I did the thing I didn't want to do that I was able to find like what I actually wanted to do.
Exactly.
Jin, can you give an example like from your artistry? Has that ever happened to you personally?
I mean, honestly, I actually used to make shorter songs, like songs that were like a minute or so, and so I mean, then eventually I just decided I should probably make a longer track, and once I did, it was so it just felt new. It felt amazing because I could actually make like an intro and then like a drop and all, and then outro, and then it was amazing.
Totally, yeah. There's so much more room for the arrangement in the song.
Exactly. And better structure in the track and everything instead of just, an intro, then a drop, and then an outro. You know
The
what I
song's
mean?
over. Yeah, totally. I feel like so much about life is that there's all sorts of biases and things that we ignore or we don't like. It's not until we're able to open our eyes, see past that we can get to like what's going on,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And it's a process, right? It's all about learning and growing.
All about that.
What's your motivation for making music, Jen?
Oh, my other inspirations. I mean, I got my other inspirations from a lot of different artists. One of them was my friend that I've known for about 8 years. His name is Alan Walker. He's not a land walker, but he has about 4,000 followers on SoundCloud. I'm sure you guys will be able to find him. And he's been my friend for about 8 years. Really great guy, and I got a big inspiration from him. He told me what DAW to use and everything. He told me a lot of things, and he taught me like generally how to be a good artist. And he's really good, and that was like my second inspiration. Then came like a bunch of other artists like Slushy, Hyper Potions. Then again, I hesitate to ever mention Hyper Potions in anything because they're cringy. They're too cringe in my opinion. I can't deal with anime. Like I see anime and I just want to puke.
How interesting, man. Because I feel like anime has really come together with like the EDM culture.
Yeah, unfortunately, because like I mean, like, come on, why anime, guys? Like, just why anime? Anything else?
Honestly speaking, I think the reason it's because it's what they grew up with. A lot of us grew up watching, anime when we were kids, and so when we get older, like we just want to reuse that inspiration, Which actually brings me to another question for you. You say you don't really enjoy like the anime visuals. What kind of visuals would you opt for as an artist?
Oh, I mean, honestly, I would love to have an animation, just not a Japanese style animation. I would just love to have an animation of like me in the future, because I'm definitely gonna change my look, change a bunch of stuff on my like SoundCloud and all. And whenever once I get on Spotify and everything, I'm gonna make like my own helmet and all, and that's gonna be really exciting. So I'd really love to see some animation, like maybe even some from my fans. Like that would be amazing.
That would be incredible. Yeah. Do like a collaboration project with the fans.
Yeah, that would be amazing, and it would just prove that you love your fans, which I do.
Yeah, for sure, right? To be able to work with them in that way. And a lot of artists have actually done that, projects with their fans. The results are always incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about, like, you've talked a lot about the artists that inspire you. What about stuff outside of music? Outside of music, what kind of inspirations do you have?
I believe, honestly, I think like what inspired me as an artist is that I learned the physics of sound, and that was like a new that blew my mind when I first heard about it. I was like, what? This is like amazing. And I started searching up all about it, and I was basically hooked for like a week or something. And I was like, damn, I really need to just get back into listening to more music. So then, I mean, I'd never really listened to that much music at all back in like 2016 and stuff like that. Then I listened to a song called I Spy by Kyle. It was an amazing song. Then I got into rap, and then it led to me finding Marshmello and all the other artists that I know.
That is fantastic. So you were looking at the very DNA of music.
Exactly. And I mean, dude, actually, I think probably the third biggest inspiration I have is Wave Racer. He stopped producing about 2 years ago, but oh my god, does he have a very unique sound. He kind of created Marshmello's style. His style sounds a lot like Marshmello. It sounds like something Marshmello would make if Marshmello just like if Marshmello wasn't Marshmello, it's something that Marshmello would make.
And I gotta say, Wave Racer is like, he's the man.
Oh my god, Wave Racer! Like I listened to his Foster the People Best Friend remix. I was mind blown. I just loved it so much. It was so simple, but it was so good.
So dynamic, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of artists that are similar to Wave Racer. Few that I can think of: Cosmos Midnight, Lido, Cashmere Cat. Those are some of my other favorites. They're kind of in the same vibe. What I like about them is that they don't pay attention, I feel like, to normal song structure or genres like you and me are big on. They really just focus on iconic sounds and very dynamic sound design.
Exactly.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break from the interview and listen to some of Generator's incredible music. Here is a recent collaboration he did with fellow music producer HCHM. This is just a short preview. To hear the full version, please go to his SoundCloud. The song is called Peace.
About your inspiration and such. What about the vision, my man? What's the vision for your music, both right now and the long term?
Well, right now, I'm hoping to rebrand. Well, not really rebrand, but advance a lot. I'm going to make a lot of designs, a different logo, more music, obviously. And, I mean, honestly, in the future, I'm hoping that maybe one day, just one day, the gods will bless me, and Marshmello will just pour a tiny bit of glitter onto me and repost one of my tracks on SoundCloud.
Yes, gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I think it's just about staying with it. You know, I think it's all about staying with it, keep developing, and keep looking to get to that place.
Exactly.
You know, send him a DM, tweet him, all that kind of stuff.
just act so desperate until you just get sick and tired of you.
Until you get sick of it. For real. You talked about designing your visuals more. Do you do the visuals by yourself, man, or do you collab with other people?
I cannot do visuals by myself, bro. Like, I remember I was so desperate for visuals. I mean, when I made, the visuals on my YouTube channel, those are me. But then again, I cannot do very well playing like good visuals. So it's best if I just get my friends.
Do you think it's something you're gonna go into more, graphic design and such?
Yeah, I want to be able to design like my own style of like visualizer and all, so that none of my songs look like trash.
And I mean, that's the thing about it, is that's for us independent musicians, we have to do everything by ourselves, basically, right? And so like the art and the business kind of get tied together in as much as the promotion and the visuals and everything. How do you balance that? How do you balance making music with promoting your music?
I mean, honestly, I think it's just a matter of time. And relative to me, I personally think I have a pretty good balance. So I don't know if I can answer that question.
Well, Jin's really fast with his music creation. Me and him did a song together. It took us maybe 1 week to finish it, and then we promoted it for like 2-3 weeks. How long did it normally take you to finish a song, Jin?
Oh, like if it's a banger, then I'd say about 3 weeks to a month. 3 weeks to a month. But I mean, if it's like a track that like I'd usually But this is like me recently. I would spend about 3 weeks in a month. Back in the day, I'd spend a lot less time, but now I spend a lot more time.
Gotcha.
Like, I rapidly increase in musical production. I get way better each day, basically. I spend a lot more time on tracks.
Right, because you're constantly producing, right? You're constantly making new music and such.
Exactly.
Yeah. And how much do you watch like YouTube tutorials or stuff like that to get more information?
Yeah, obviously. Like, I don't care how you get your information, in my opinion. Like, how you get your information isn't very important. Just as long as the end goal is reachable after you gain that knowledge, then it's worth it.
My man, you're preaching right now. It's not about, like, the knowledge is out there. It's just about applying that knowledge, about using that knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, because we could talk about, like, music process, talk about, like, the technical stuff, but if you're not, like, doing stuff with it, like, it's pointless. And that's one of the things I love about Jen, is that Jen is constantly recreating his sound or making new sounds. Just in the time that I've known him, I think I would say his music has improved by, like, 25%. Maybe more, because like he's just so creative with it all. All right, so also talk to me a little bit about, because you talked about like growing your sound, all that kind of stuff. Do you think that you will ever stop making music?
For school, yes, I'll probably stop for about some time, but I'll eventually come back with a banger.
Love that. Remember those words. I'm gonna come back with a banger. Famous words right there.
Quote me on that.
But I think that's great, Jen, because I think that you create music because you love music.
Exactly. I mean, when it comes to musical production, it's not just something that I like to do. To me, it's like taking your girlfriend out on a really long walk on the beach. Of course, I have no idea how that feels like.
But for the example, yeah.
When I open up FL Studio, I feel like just hearing the opening sound gives me pleasure. All types of pleasure.
I get what you mean. Like being in the studio like that for an artist, like that's life right there.
Mm-hmm. Then again, I don't think that I'm going to mainly become an artist. I personally want to become a physicist as my main job, but I'll definitely keep producing music.
How interesting, a physicist. Why did you get into that?
I mean, honestly, I think as I depression at some point, and I was just really sad a lot. I was mostly sad for quite a lot of time until I found a video just explaining a lot of things, just a video to gain knowledge. I forgot what video it was called, but it was just a video to gain knowledge. And then I watched another one. Then I watched another one. And then I watched another one, and another, and another, and another, and another. And it just piled up on me, and I was like, wow. It's like, I got into physics and quantum mechanics, and I was just fascinated by it. So, I mean, then I decided to study it, which I still am.
That's fantastic. So just watching one video is enough to...
It's just...
Yeah.
In my opinion, it helped me. It cured my depression, and it was amazing. It was just a great feeling for me.
Kind of opened your eyes, totally.
I wish that school systems could teach kids a lot better, just like that.
Definitely.
In order, we would have a lot smarter people nowadays instead of people doing drugs on the street and all. And honestly, if if our school system was a lot better.
Right. There's definitely room for improvement in any education system, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, damn, like we have kids they sit around in a classroom for 7 hours a day, and they're bored. They're extremely bored. And the thing is, when you're bored, you have that. Here's the thing. Here's an excuse that a lot of schools have. There was a recent, not a recent discovery, but there was a discovery, okay, that apparently your brain, when you're bored, apparently you're a lot more active and you're a lot smarter, I guess you could say. You realize that you're a lot smarter than what you actually are. And a lot of schools seem to use that. They seem to use that as like a defense when it comes to like defending the school system, but it's retarded and it didn't work on me, and it obviously isn't working. We have people in the streets like selling drugs and doing all other things.
Right, well, because the kids aren't participating like in the class. They're not being activated in the classroom. Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure, man. And I think that it's just not efficient, right? Like we're not they're not reaching the kids, they're not tapping into the kids' potential or inspiring them in that way.
Like, we have already seen in statistics that it's obviously not working, and you never know. If we keep doing this, we never know what will eventually happen one day. Maybe one day it'll just all collapse.
It's just my theory, but I think what's happening a lot, Jen, tell me if you agree, is that education is kind of falling on an individual's shoulders.
I see what you mean.
Right? Like, for you, like, you didn't count on the school system, you counted on, like, YouTube videos, or you counted on internet information you found. You took it upon yourself to find that information and become better than 90% of the population.
Exactly. True. I mean, then, like, yeah, honestly, I 100% agree with you. I personally think that it's a lot better if students find their own information. But then again, you can't do that because you never know. Kids nowadays, an idea of school is ruined to them. The idea of school to me sounds amazing. Okay? Like, the general idea of school is amazing.
Learning, right.
It's just that how they act it out and how it's played out is really bad.
How it's implemented, exactly. The implementation is really bad.
And it messes up everything, and it causes kids to smoke underage. I'm not even joking. I have a friend who's like 15 years old, and he smokes weed already. And I've been trying to get him to stop.
And I think what's sad about that is that, I mean, you have to be around that influence as well, right? Like an influence you don't exactly agree with. So
exactly.
That's another negative aspect of it all.
It obviously just influences a lot more kids.
Yeah. Just like a domino effect, basically. Do you think there's any chances that stuff will change for the education system?
Of course. It has to. If it doesn't change now, it'll change tomorrow. Because, I mean, we already know that if it keeps continuing this, we won't have... I don't even know if we'll even have a planet Earth now. If it keeps going like this.
And who knows? Maybe you'll be able to affect the change, like through your music or through whatever you do in the future, right?
Maybe.
Is that a hope for you? Do you hope that you can affect a change through the stuff that you do?
Of course. I mean, honestly, if I have the ability to touch anyone's heart, even if it's just one person, I mean, I'll take that chance.
Love that.
Like, I'll keep producing music, even if it's just for that one person.
For real, and I think that's amazing to have that kind of like motivation and a reason to do what you do. It's similar for me. I generally do music for myself, but a large part of my brand is also motivation and inspiration. So it's really fulfilling to me to be able to create music and do art and use words that help other people. Like, that is really seriously fulfilling to provide value to people through like what I do, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, exactly. Like, yes, I mean, even if it's just a small amount of people, then it's definitely worth it, bro.
It is, for sure, man. For sure. I mean, and that's why we're all here, right? We're all here because it's a group team. Here on planet Earth, it's a group team.
Alright fam, we're going to take another small break to listen to more of Generator's music. This time it's an older song he did called A. The style is future-based, a genre which Generator doesn't explore too much these days, but the song is still one of my favorites. I hope you enjoy it as well.
So, tell me a little bit about how do you go about making a song? Like, what's the thing that makes you start creating a song?
The theme I generally like to go for is, I mean, honestly, what I would honestly do is I'd start off with some simple, nice, happy chords and a melody. And then once I do that, I add some claps in the beginning, and then I move on to the beat. That's probably the best way to start a song.
So woken with the chords, kind of moved on to the rhythm. I love that. And I think it's the same way for me. I like to start with the chords. I'm not sure why that is, though.
It's got to be some sort of chords, in my opinion, like maybe something fast-paced. Something maybe like if it was like 142 BPM or something, then I guess it would be like really fast-paced chords, like something Marshmello would make, obviously.
What is your favorite BPM to produce at, bro?
Oh, my average BPM, I think it's about 142. 142 is my average BPM, like, so usually. It's always the one I usually use.
Got it. Have you done stuff that's like close to 110 or 120?
Oh, no, I don't think I've ever produced something like that slow.
I've done stuff at like the fastest I went was like 180 for a song, I think.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. I wanted something that was like crazy fast, like a techno kind of thing.
Oh my god, 180.
Dude, you gotta try it. Try it sometime. It's fun.
Oh my god.
It's fun.
Actually, I now that I remember, I made a song called "Strawberries" for Edwin. That song was made in like 87 BPM or something.
Oh snap, bro!
Like, that was slow. Like, it was probably 90 BPM, something like that.
That's crazy. But then again, it's also about like how you're using that BPM, because I have seen drum and bass songs that are like 110 or 90, but it's still fast paced because it's all about how you're arranging the kicks and everything. So, what part of the music process gives you the most trouble? Like, what do you struggle with in the music process?
Ooh. I mean, I don't really know. One I struggle with, I think the most, is creating a drop, honestly.
Gotcha.
Because you have to like, first you have to listen to the melody and chords over and over again, and then you have to think of a nice, something nice that would go with it. Just anything, and then you listen to a bunch of songs, and then you have to get some inspiration from just any song really, any song. Just you listen to any song, you get some inspiration from that song, and then you implement it onto your track, and I promise you, it'll sound amazing.
Gotcha. Does it get easier with time? Because I know that a lot of people struggle with making drops. Does it get easier the more you do it?
Actually, yeah, I guess it does. For some drops, it's really easy to make. I've heard like drops like in Marshmello's song "Moving On." I like making a drop like that is really easy, and I mean, but it's probably one of my favorite drops to do, in my opinion. It's really fun for me.
Right. And I'm kind of curious about drops, because drops are something that really became relevant because of EDM culture. I feel like stuff with like dubstep and that kind of thing. Suddenly, everybody's talking about the song's drop. Like, when does it drop? How do you feel about that, Jin? About songs that are really focused on the drop aspect?
Oh, like, I mean, honestly, if you're too focused, then I think you're too. I mean, some people are way like a drop and stuff like that, and they spent way too much time on just making a drop. That, in my opinion, you need to take breaks throughout making a song, and honestly, you definitely shouldn't just keep on focusing on making a drop. Like, when you're in FL Studio, if you can't make a good drop, then I'd recommend you just take a break, listen to some music, and chill. And then come back to the project.
Chill out, let it go for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the other thing I feel like is that I get it that drops are like the spotlight of the song, but like without like the other actors and actresses, like you don't have like the spotlight. Does that make sense?
I mean, I think it does.
Like, even though the drop is like the focal point, the centerpiece, like we still need everything else to make the drop what it is.
Exactly.
Like as the verse and the build up, all that kind of thing.
Like, you can't just start out a song with the drop.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine a song that's nothing but a drop the entire time?
No, that would be absolutely insane.
All right, Jen, I'm gonna ask you some quick questions. Just quick fire, answer as fast as you can.
Alright.
All right. What is your favorite social media?
Social media, Twitter.
What is your favorite food?
Fried chicken.
What's your favorite color?
I'd say purple or white.
What is your favorite weekend activity?
Weekend activity. Ooh. Listening to music and studying.
What country do you want to visit?
Ooh, countries that I want to visit. You can definitely see me in South Korea. Definitely South Korea.
Yep. What languages do you speak?
English, Arabic, Italian, and eventually some French, and definitely some South Korean.
Yep, I expected that. I got Jin hooked on K-pop, so he's gonna go out to Korea with me sometime. Alright, Jen, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Dude, it's incredible to talk to you.
Yeah, you too, bro.
Alright, man, and is there any last words you want to say to the audience? Any last things you want to tell them?
I will see you guys maybe on the video on my YouTube channel. Hope you guys all enjoyed this podcast with Ben. And Ben, look, man, just make sure that the next artist that comes on here, just don't ask him like doodle questions, okay?
Okay, what should I ask him about? Marshmallow?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll do that. Alright, guys, we will see you on the next episode. Thanks so much for listening today. And Jen, I'll talk to you later, my man. Peace.
Alright, peace, bro.